So it rained last night. Friends asked if I want to join them for Tough Mudder. I'm like, I don't enjoy it when I get paid to walk around in it. Why would I pay to go walk in it? Day 4. We're on day 4 now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We gotta do a little bit of Y bracing on the top of the post, and then we're ready for framing. Install one door yet, and then we'll start trimming the fascia in the corners and get ready for some wall steel. So yeah, coming along nicely. We'll have, if the door and the roof steel was in, we'd probably be like almost done tomorrow. Probably 5.5 days to build this thing. Right, Luke?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just making the Ys that go in between the header. Keeps the header spread out, and it's supposed to keep the building from falling over. I don't have much faith in these, but they're part of code, so I make one, a template I guess, and then just mark it out. And then I use 2 skill saws because I'm selfish like that. 1 skill saw to 1 9/16, and I have 1 skill saw set to 45. That way I don't have to keep changing the blade. I marked 1.5 inches, and the outside is 1.5 inches. I was gonna grab the table saw, and then I remembered we were building a barn, so there we go. Corner blocks are the most difficult trimming you'll do. First you want to make sure that you have actual 8 inches from the outside fascia to here. That couldn't be better. And then also from the 2x4 over needs to be 8. If it's not, you'll never get these blocks right. What you need is a level, which fell down again, but start off, it has a cut here and a bend here, and you want to fold that over, and that's the bottom of it, just like that. You want a 412 pitch on there, so that's, yeah, perfect. Trick to installing these is do not nail it solid. Just to start off, just roughly put the level on it, get it somewhere close. There. And then I usually just mark it just for a quick reference to kind of start off with. And then tack your roofing nail in. Now the top lip needs to be folded over. You see it's square. You follow your fascia there, and then the back side also needs to be folded over. Show you guys there how it's sticking up past. Once you have a couple of nails tacked, pinch it to the top. I usually just scribe a line where my strapping stops, and that's roughly where I want to fold it. They really do need to move those lines closer. I'm really happy with that. I'll put that nail too close. Give it a little love tap on the top, never on the face. Always start on the back corner where nobody sees it to practice, and work your way to the front corner, which everybody sees all the time. Happy with that. Now we can put our fascia in between the 2 blocks. We always start at the back. You'll never see the lines. If you start at the front, you'll see every overlap, which is really ugly. This building's 38 feet, which works out nice, 4 pieces, and we just overlap 5 inches or so. But if you have an uneven number or long building, it sucks when you're 2 feet short and you've got 2 foot fascia right at the very front. It's hard to make that look good because you always end up at the front. You want to put that short piece at the back. It just looks nicer in the end. So, yeah, and that's it. So our wall steel is 12 feet long, but so we start by leveling the fascia, and then I make a mark at 12 1/4 for the wall steel to hide in the ribs, so you can stretch and shrink it a little bit. And then this is the drip edge, and the back is 1 3/4 long. So then I make a mark 1 3/4 above 12 1/4, if that all makes sense, and then chalk a line all the way along. So then the chalk line would be the top of this edge here, and then where the steel sits would be 12 1/4 down. Then we can do the trim all the way along on the bottom, and then we can start putting our wall steel up after we put our corner in. So here we go. Trim on goes nice and easy. 45s at the bottom, even though nobody really ever sees it. It just finishes it off nice. And see how you can't see any of the seams? If you go the other way, then you're staring at the seams as you're pulling in the driveway. See that seam? I don't like that. So start at the back, work your way forward with steel laps on the wall steel and on the trim, but not on the roof steel. You want prevailing winds, so lap it so that the wind goes over top of the sheet, not coming up underneath. And not even the prevailing winds are okay, but that's odd storm, freak storm that comes out of the opposite direction. That's the one you got to worry about. So because it's a 12-foot building, this trim comes in 10-foot lengths. So we put 2 feet on the bottom, because when you're looking at the building, you're always above this, so this seam is always hidden. And then put the cut edge underneath the factory edge so it looks nice and clean. The top of it, I just notch 1 inch out of this side, because that's how much that corner drops down. So this is actually the height of the wall steel. Then the wall steel on the front matches the height on the side. So stick that up in the corner there, like that. And then this is Vic West steel, and they don't have a J on this one. Andex steel comes with a J built into the corner trim. Makes for a nicer trim, but the corners are really hard to overlap. You can't really do it. You have to cut that whole J off. But this, you can just kind of pop around and then take your level and make sure that you're nice and level and that your corner looks square. And see, I just didn't cut enough of that angle off, so I can't see how it twists a little bit. So just gotta pull that off, cut it here and walk off and put that back. Check this for level. I'm really happy with that. So now I can put my tack in there on the side here. Now you climb your ladder. Here. We're waiting for the inspectors so we can put the rest of our fascia on, and then that's just 1, 2, 3, bang, that's on, and we can start putting wall steel on. We're gonna have an enclosed building, and it is noon on Thursday. Here we go. So the back wall steel, we're gonna start with that. Just because there's no windows, we can bang it up in a hurry. This is where Tape Boss comes in handy to just measure the strapping in a few spots.
From the bottom, 27, 51, 75.
So I don't have to measure twice, and I can measure the same all the way along and kind of compare. The steel on one side has this extra little fold right here. Can you see that? The line right here. And that goes tight up against that overlaps the rib, and then it kind of folds that out, makes a nice tight fit there. The steel has a little rib in the center, and you can't put the screw in there because it's a high point. It'll actually pull this tight and bend the steel up. So we put the screw in this rib nice and close to this one right here, and then the last screw will go in on this side here. So 1 inch on the bottom, that catches all of our drip edge. We only have a few nails in each one because the steel is going to go, those screws are going to go through the trim, hold it on nice and solid, and then all the way to the top. Now it's 38 feet long. These cover 3 feet, so we grabbed 13 sheets, and that will do the whole back wall. So we'll Tyvek first, just one section at a time. Where Tyvek comes in 9-foot rolls, so we're just going to start at the top, work our way down, and then that's it. So here we go. We've got them marked on each one. It's nice to drill the whole pile all at once. The hay wagon's nice because it supports the whole thing, but if you're drilling and the bottom steel is able to bend down, what it does is grab your drill bit and snap your drill bit, and then it becomes a pain. So I only have 2 because I'm very confident in myself. 5/32 is what we want for the screws that we use, 1/4 inch drive. and the hole is slightly bigger than what the screw is, but it has a rubber washer on the bottom, and that allows for the steel to expand and contract and slide back and forth. Not as important for the wall steel, very important for the roof, otherwise it'll start buckling. But yeah, we're in Canada that has plus 35 degrees Celsius weather and minus 35 degrees Celsius weather, and needs a lot of room for adjustment. So this is a couple sheets in, and you see that dust around it? Because you drilled it, it makes it magnetic. It wants to stick on there, so you got to make sure you wipe that off or it will rust. So we've done the back side wall there. We're gonna do the back wall and then this wall. So we started at the back corner and worked that way. Now we'll start at the far corner and work this way. That way the laps go that way and you won't see them. Same with this corner, we can work our way right around and come this way because the laps will be going this way. You won't see the seams. So same measurements, but the sheets will now be opposite. So this will be the top, and now the lap is on this side, whereas it used to be on the other side. So just laid my tape boss down. It's the exact same measurements, but now it's on this side. We didn't miss a single screw on that one. So yeah, here we go. I broke 2 drill bits. We found one more. So wall steel's always my favorite. Well, besides truss day and payday and putting door handles on because I know we're done. But besides that, wall steel's my favorite. Grab it, just make sure that you grab it on the kind of on the inside where my thumbs are, and then just hold it in the back. It means you don't slice your finger like I did on the outside here, and it doesn't kink the edges. To install it, really simple. It's just making sure your first sheet is level, and whoever puts the screws in, the guy at the top is on the same page as the guy at the bottom, that the lap is in the same spot, because you can start shifting your sheet over, and you can adjust that. You can make the steel do whatever you want by stretching and shrinking it, we call it. So if your sheet starts to go like this and walk off of the drip edge, then the person at the top needs to stretch the steel by putting the screws on an angle. The guy at the bottom needs to shrink the steel by putting the screws on the opposite angle. But we're nice and level here. So each sheet, we throw the bubble on, make sure that we're nicely in the middle. And then you know you're doing a good job when the sheet is nice and square on the drip edge like that. Just go all the way along, nice and simple. Put the screws in, and nice and straight, square. And it looks like you got a whole bunch of work done in a very short amount of time. So here we go. 55 1/4 to the bottom of the window. $21.5 to the rib. 90 3/4 to the top of the window. Well, that was a good day. Got all the wall steel on. Unfortunately, so we got the back wall on, the gable wall, this front wall. Unfortunately, they don't have trim for our man door, and we don't have the trim for our garage door, and no roof steel. So it's Thursday, 5 o'clock. We actually put a full day in today. Unfortunately, we can't finish it in a week. We can finish it in 5 days, just not 5 days in a row because we're out of materials. The gable steel gets cut from the front, and the cutoffs are the opposite reverse side for the other gable. Really happy with it. Nice to do a barn again. Wouldn't really have done it, but my wife said that she misses my farmer's tan, and it's coming on really nice. So I think I can go back home now, make the lady happy, and I guess we'll wait until the steel comes in and then we'll finish it up. I'll show you guys how to do the garage door, install the garage door, trim the man door, and do the roof steel, and here we go. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because you never know what you're going to see next week on DeBoss Garage. If you like what you see, there's a lot of stuff happening to help support the channel. And remember, if you're not filthy, you're not rich.